The day the tunnel closed. Way up at the northern end of the fingerboard in Scroll City lives the Peg family. There's Papa Peg, whose name is G Peg, Mama Peg, whose name is D Peg, and Brother Peg, whose name is Ace Peg, and little baby sister's Peg, whose name is E Peg. Every Sunday, Papa G, Mama D, Brother Ace, and baby Eva all hop in the car and drive through the tunnel, up the fingerboard, and over the bridge to Tailtown to visit their cousins, the Fine Tuners. But one day, when the Pegs hopped into the car and tried to drive through the tunnel, it was closed, so they couldn't drive through the tunnel, up the fingerboard, and over the bridge to Tailtown to visit their cousins. That made Papa G, Mama D, Brother Ace, and baby sister Eva very sad. Reluctantly, they turned the car around and headed back home to Scroll City. When they got home, Papa G Peg called the tunnel's operator number. A person named Teacher answered the phone. Teacher said that the tunnel operator was too far away to reach by phone. The tunnel operator's name was Violinist, and she sometimes fell asleep on the top button that closes the tunnel. But if the Peg family got back into the car and drove back to the tunnel and honked their car horn, they would be able to wake up Vio and get the tunnel open. Once again, the Peg family packed into the car and headed into the tunnel. When they arrived, Vio was still sleeping and the tunnel was still closed, so Papa G honked the horn. Mama D, Brother Ace, and baby sister Eva yelled as loudly as they could. This alarmed Vio, and she woke up with a start and quickly opened the tunnel to let the Pegs through. Papa G, Mama D, Brother Ace, and baby sister Eva cheered as they drove through the tunnel, up the fingerboard, and safely over the bridge to visit their cousins, the Fine Tuners. So remember, young violinist, you have an important job to do. Always keep the tunnel open and don't fall asleep on the job. If you do fall asleep, you might just be awakened by the Pegs yelling at you to let them through. Why must I keep space between my playing hand and the violin? I'm sorry to admit that your Pegs don't really need to travel to the tailpiece to meet their cousins. There are a few reasons why we always keep space in our hand while holding onto the fingerboard. Number 1, to keep it from holding tension. Number 2, to preserve intonation, make sure we're playing the right notes. Number 3, to prepare ourselves for more advanced techniques like shifting, which is playing higher on the fingerboard, and vibrato, when a violinist shakes their arm in the correct way to make a beautiful sound. I hope this little story helps you remember to keep the tunnel open when playing your violin, because it will help you make more beautiful music now and in the future.